Hi guys, I know it's been a while. I'm really sorry. I just had a few minutes before I have to study. So I thought I'd give you a quick update and let you know I am still alive and I'm plugging along and I'm doing great. Even the house is clean right now, so I'm so doggone proud of myself. Um, no, seriously, I'm trying to think. I think last time I talked to you was a couple weeks ago. I had just had my first test in my clinical math, my dosage calculations class, and I was really hoping for an A, and I had gotten a B, a high B, but I'd gotten a B, and I was really disappointed just for the fact of how much time I put in. And I thought I did better than what I did. There were some silly errors. There was a step on one, I forgot a step. Whatever. Had another test on Monday. Just found out I got a 98%. I missed one, and all the ones that I missed before did not repeat again. So the lesson of that story was when we got our tests back to look over, we don't get to keep them because there's people that are absent and don't take tests or whatever, and I think they use the same tests again and again. I don't know, but they don't want people sharing. So she let us look over things. I wrote down where I went wrong, and then I made sure to study that because that was chapters 1 and 2, which basically is an algebraic review. We're supposed to be in a certain place in math to be able to get into dosage calculations, okay? But as a courtesy, we kind of do a quick review, fractions, decimals, converting from fractions to percents to decimals, all that kind of stuff. And so many people are having such a hard time. In that first test, they did not do well. More than half the class failed that test. And she said from day one that it was going to be quick review for us to do a lot of looking over things and refreshing on our own. And some people have trouble with that, as far as not trouble learning. They have trouble saying, well, that's not my job to teach myself. I get what you're saying. I really do. But you know what? When she just keeps going, she'll stop and she'll help if someone has a particular problem with a certain question. If they have a question about a certain problem, she'll go over that, but she's not going to do the formula step by step. She writes it out, and pretty much she just kind of goes to the answer. And if you don't remember any of solving for X or anything about how to make a percent into a fraction you will be lost. And I have some classmates that are like, oh, how'd you do, or whatever, and I say, and they're like, well, how are you doing so good? And I tell them, and I've told you guys last time, I study the night before. I look at my syllabus. The syllabus is what you get when you first start classes. It's kind of like the schedule or the calendar. It tells you like what day, what objectives you're going to be covering, or what chapters or whatever. I find out what she's going to be covering the next class, and I teach it to myself the night before, or 2 nights before. I do it myself. So when I'm in class, I totally know what she's talking about. I'm not lost. I recognize she's skipping steps. I'm not thinking that that's the way to do it. Some people just don't want to do that because they just feel it's not their job to teach themselves. But you have to be proactive in your learning. You have to. And no one's going to hold your hand. And in a class like this where you need to do well for clinicals, you should do what you need to do. Build a bridge, get over it, and just teach yourself. Yeah, so some people have already dropped out, and they're just others are still struggling. So our first test was over chapters 1 and 2. Our test Monday was over chapters 1 through 5. Okay, so like I said, I knew there was going to be some repeat things on this test that we had on last, so I wanted to make sure where I went wrong. I fixed it. I practiced things again, as well as going over and teaching myself. It was like the conversions, going from, within the metric system, grams to milligrams, and centimeters to meters, liters to milliliters, things like that. And then you have your apothecary, and your household units, ounces to grain, or grains to milligrams, and ounces to cups and liters. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I was on it, and I got the test, and I do have a little bit of testing anxiety, only because I want to do really well. And it's not because I'm not prepared, and it's not because I didn't put in the time. I have absolutely put in the time. So I got this test, and it was 4 pages front and back, just like last time. Oh, and I had worked on more story problems. I told you story problems were not my friend last time, and I worked that issue out as best as I could. So I did a brain dump, meaning as soon as I got my test, I wrote down all my conversions. I wrote down, 1 teaspoon equals 5 milliliters, 1 tablespoon equals 15 milliliters, which equals 3 teaspoons, all that I have memorized. I wrote all that down, because once you get into your test, if you're getting a little nervous or anxious, you might forget something. If you have your brain dump on your paper, very first thing, military time, some people were drawing their clocks, and I know that just because my husband was in the military, I was in the military, so I didn't have troubles with that at all. But anything that, any rules, or like learning Celsius to Fahrenheit, learning how to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, I wrote those formulas down. First thing, even though I knew them, I wanted to get it out in case later on I was like, holy crud. How many of you sometimes have gone into the grocery store and forgot what was on your list? Doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means it slipped your mind. Well, during a test, just put it out in the beginning and you're good to go. So I missed one, and it was a stupid error. I wrote a problem down wrong when I was doing my math, and I put a decimal in the wrong place. All the numbers were correct. I just wrote it down wrong. I copied the problem. It was like 22.5. I wrote 2.25. Dumb. But that could be a major error in a dosage calculation, so that will never happen again. I will make sure that I double check everything. Yeah. But I'm proud of myself. I got a 98, so I have an A in that class so far. I think my average is a 94.1 or whatever. I'm taking another math class. I told you I'm taking algebra, as well as sociology and English. So I have a big test in algebra tomorrow. And let's just say, even though I'm not a huge fan of math, I'm very excited because I'm actually understanding math. When I was younger, I think it was just so hard, I didn't really want to put in the time because it was going to take more effort than I was willing to dish out, and I just figured I was stupid, and what was the use? I would never use it, right? Wrong. So, even though it's still not my best friend, I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. My first math test, I missed an A by 1%. So, and that was even after my quizzes and all the homework. We have to do it, even though it's an in-class class, we do stuff online. Our homework's on the computer, and I don't care for that. I'm old school. I like the pencil and paper, but all the quizzes and things, I was averaging B's. So for me to just about knock out an A, I was pretty proud of myself. I do all the extra practice problems. Some people don't. They just, he gives us lecture quizzes. So during class, when he goes over whatever objectives he's going to cover that day, he gives us a quick little 10-question lecture quiz to make sure, one, that we were listening and paying attention, and number two, that we're understanding what he's covering. I think that helps him as a teacher to see, maybe what he needs to work on, but also as a class as a whole. Are we all lacking in the same area or whatever? So that's pretty cool. There's one girl that sleeps in class every day, so I don't know how well she's doing. I'm guessing probably not that great, but all of my classes have gone from like 25 to 27 people down to language art, or I keep saying language arts, that's what they call it in schools now, but in college, my English composition class, we are down to like 18 people. We had a paper due. It was a diagnostic essay. He just wanted us to write about something we know, so he can see where we are with our writing skills, and 5 people didn't turn one in. Just 13 of us turned one in. you know, and now we're already getting a research paper that we're going to have to write in APA format, 10 pages, cited note cards, all this stuff, which I've never done before. Never done that before, so I'm not freaking out over it. It's just going to be a lot of work, and we have to write on a topic that deals with our major. So within nursing, it has to be current, something that's kind of going on in nursing within the last 10 years. So, I was thinking of maybe doing something with Alzheimer's, because I know that there's lots of new things coming up with that. But if you guys have any suggestions, that would be really cool. Like I said, I can't use articles from journals or books or anything that's over 10 years old. So it's got to be kind of something new up and coming with our major. So if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. Just comment below. So basically, I just wanted to check in. Sociology. Oh, sociology. We haven't had a test in that yet. Next week, chapters 1 through 5. Lots of information. Poor sociology. It's kind of taken a backseat to my math classes. English, like I said, nothing really has been going on, but all of a sudden it's going to be a lot going on. So I wish we kind of had been doing little bits at a time this whole time, just so it doesn't seem like so much all at once. I'm excited with the clinical math though, because now we're starting to get into what we're there for, to learn medical math. So, you know, she brought different needles in and syringes and such and medicine cups, you know, in class today, so we kind of got to look over that and hold it and, you know, whatever, check things out, and so that was kind of neat. I'm excited. And I don't know. On the home front, things are good. Rachel had her first batch of senior pictures last Friday. She wants to do something different, so she's kind of doing a seasonal through her senior year thing. So her summer portraits were done down at the beach. We were there before daybreak, and it was cold. She was colder than me because I was able to wear a jacket. So, but they're going to be gorgeous pictures. We're going to the viewing of them on Thursday with the photographer, because he had edited them and all. Her fall pictures are going to be, she has a friend whose grandfather has 4 barns. She wanted kind of something country like that. My father-in-law's from a farm, but he's in upstate New York, so she kind of wanted to do something like that, and we'll do something in the winter and then something in the spring. So I thought that was a pretty clever idea. Shelby's on a new ball team, and she's doing well. If she's not pitching, she's playing infield, first, third. So she's rocking and rolling with that. And Carlton, he's playing soccer in school. He's going to be wrestling this winter, and baseball's his first love, so he's going to be playing baseball this spring. But right now he's playing soccer and loving that. So my husband Eric, he's doing great. Cowboys are on. Football season's going on, so he's extremely, yes, I said Cowboys. I know. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so it's the Seahawks or it's the Cowboys. I have to live with a Cowboy fan, so you know what? It's just easier. I'm not a huge Romo fan, though. I don't know. I don't mean to be mean. I mean, he did play with fractured rib and all this weekend, so, but I enjoy football. I enjoy baseball, so it gets pretty loud up in here. And so, yeah. I would love to hear how you guys are doing. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a, I do have a couple video requests, so I will be getting those out soon. And off to make dinner now. So, chicken fajitas. Sounds good, right? Okay. Rate, comment, subscribe. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to all the newbies. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. I love you so much. I couldn't have done all this without you, and I get some phenomenal emails from you guys. Oh, please post down here too, so others can. There are so many of you that have so much in common. You know, we're one big family here, so, you know, talk amongst yourselves on here as well. So anyway, love to you all, and we'll be talking to you soon.